right? Okay, so the next wine comes from the same winery as the previous one, Du Prevera. Both these wines, there's a great wine store up in Berkeley, California called Clement Wine Merchant. Clement Wine Merchant is also an importer of wines, which means like that dude's like since like 1972 goes to Europe and brings in some of the best, kind of most authentic wines, like brought to the United States, and we buy it from them, and they sell to people all over the country and what have you. But so Du Prevera is a new winery from Clement as of like probably 7 years ago now. And I can't stress enough like the whole like when you're in your house and the electricity goes off and you're just like, fuck man, you know what I mean? Like, so just imagine like the idea of just trying to willfully trying to make wine with no electricity. It's kind of like this, the slow food, like above and beyond, like super natural way of doing things, and it's kind of impressive that they don't make all their wines no-watt. Only the no-watt wine do they make no-watt. But they do other kind of experimental things, like, and all the wines today are like built to last, built to age. They're not flash in the pan wines. They're not wines that are just supposed to be drank today and forget about it later. These are wines that are like of stature, of a new regalness in Provence. So the wine you guys have now is Du Prevera. Same people make it. 2008. 2008. That's the year the grapes were grown. And picked them. Côte de Provence. Très long maceration. That means very long maceration. So macerate. We don't. The one thing that I don't like to talk about is wine. Because at the end of someone else, at the end of the day, it's all just grape juice, and it's inherently boring, and it's a bunch of chemistry, and it's all it's like math and biology and all that stuff. So, but the reason I'll talk about one thing with this. So the idea, right? So these guys buy the grapes. This is 60% Cabernet and 40% Syrah. So two grapes that are Cabernet is not often found in Provençal wines, but like I said, these people are not enslaved by dogma and new stuff. Do it their way. Don't have to follow the rules as much as the other people. So this is 60% Cabernet, 40% Syrah, and it's long maceration. So maceration is a fancy wine word. It's a fancy word. It's not. I don't know, it seems fancy to me because I don't use it in any other context except for what I'm going to talk about it right now. So maceration is basically when they take the grapes, they push the grapes down, they chugga, slosh it all up so they make juice. And maceration is when you leave the skins touching the juice. And just like when you make tea, when you put the tea bag in the water and dunk it a bunch of times, the more times you dunk it, the darker the tea gets. And the more time the more time you spend doing that, the more kind of complex and rich and kind of tea-like that water that had no tea in it before becomes tasting like. So when you do the same thing with the grapes, what the maceration does is you keep the skin in contact with the juice, and that makes the wine deeper, darker, in this case kind of more almost purple-like, and really soft and smooth. So instead of like buying like barrels, like really fancy brand new barrels to kind of because that's what barrels act as. They act as like a softener, like the oak in the barrel softens the harshness of the wine sometimes. So like if you have wine and you picture wine like a taste, and the taste was a vision, and the vision was like this, chugga, that would mean that wine is harsh. So with either two ways of doing it. You take maceration, which is keep the skins in the juice longer, or you put them in brand new oak barrels. They've chosen to keep the skins with the juice longer. So instead of like jagged, like what are those things called, EKG things? It's more like rolling hills of taste instead of like that whole harsh peaks and valleys of like chug. It's more definitely like kind of like roll on. So that's why the maceration is important, and these guys think because they're taking the grapes that sometimes can equal like a harsh kind of wine that takes a long time to age and a long time to be good. In this case, it's 2008. You can drink it now. It'll age well by itself, but it's that maceration process that makes the wine super smoothed out. So there's my maceration. Yes.
Yes. Do they do this one with electricity?
Yes, the no-watt's the only one that they do electricity free. This one is made. I don't know where I would assume that it's my assumption that where they use electricity on this is the bottling line. Like picture like Laverne and Shirley, like the bottles. All the other ones they bottle by hand, but I bet
the maceration they do by hand as well.
they do all that by hand, yeah. But this is bottled by the bottle line. All right, so that's that. 60% Cab, 40% Syrah, and to go with this young Matthew Polly made wine.
All right, so one thing we make.